Let's explore adverbs. So adverbs are words or phrases that give us more information or detail about something. Let's have a look. So there are a few different types of adverbs, and we can categorise them into adverbs of time, so when something is happening, adverbs of place, so the location or where something is happening, adverbs of manner, which is how something is happening, and frequency, which is how often or how frequent something is happening. So, if we brainstorm a few just to give some examples, that will help us for when we want to write our own or identify them. So, an adverb of time when something is happening. Let's have a look. I'm going to use an image as a stimulus. So, got this lovely image here. When do I think that is happening? I could say it's happening in the evening. I might say at night time or at dusk. Because it looks like the sun is going down, it's a bit cooler, the colours there. Let's move on to adverbs of place. So, where is this? I could say by the sea, because I can see the waves right next door to the buildings. I could say on the edge of the cliff, because I spy the rocky part of land there where the houses are on top of. Or I might be more specific and think this looks like it could be somewhere like Greece in the Mediterranean, a nice island. I could say in Greece, capital letter for the name of a country. It's important. Adverb of manner, so that would show me how something is happening in this picture. First of all, what is happening? I can see, I imagine if I was standing right there, the clouds would probably be moving across the sky. So if I think to myself, how would they move? They might move slowly. They probably would move quite gracefully, wouldn't they? Rather than quickly and hurriedly. So those are my adverbs of manner. Lastly, frequency, how often. So how often are those clouds moving? Let's have a think. Probably, obviously they're moving all the time, aren't they? But in terms of how often they pass over your head, definitely every few minutes if it was a cloudy day, but it does look quite clear in the background. So I might just say every half an hour. To excuse my pen's running out. Or I could just say each evening. That's how often. So those are my different types. Now let's choose some to put into a sentence, because I could either put them at the front of a sentence, in the evening, the clouds gracefully glide overhead, or I could put them in the middle or at the end of a sentence. The clouds gracefully glide overhead in the evening. So it depends where I'm putting it as to how I punctuate it and what I call that type of adverb. So let's rub these off very quickly. So I might choose to say outside, which is an adverb of place. Outside, all was quiet and still in this little town. Oh. Full stop. When I read it back, there is somewhere that I naturally take a pause. Outside, all was quiet and still. So because I paused here after the word outside, I need a comma to show that the reader does need to pause when they read that sentence. Outside, all was quiet and still. Because this adverb is at the front of my sentence, it's called a fronted adverbial. And any fronted adverbial needs a comma straight after it. Fronted adverbials are so useful for making your sentences open in a really nice way, rather than just saying all was quiet and still. I'm telling you where outside all was quiet and still. It's much more interesting. So let me do another one. I might use an adverb of manner this time. I might say peacefully. I'm going to pop my comma in because I paused there very naturally. The sunset painted the city gold. So again, my adverb is at the front. So it's called a fronted adverbial, goes at the beginning. But I could use it anywhere. I could say the sunset painted the city gold peacefully and pop at the end. Or I could say the sunset peacefully painted the city gold. So they can go anywhere in the sentence if it makes sense when you read it back to yourself.